My name is Lehmann, and this is my POS394 Final presentation. In this video, I'm going to be going over Donald Trump's State of the Union address, going over some statements that he makes within his address, and then identifying whether those statements are true or false. Before we get started, I just wanted to say I'm sure there's a lot of other students who are going to be analyzing Donald Trump. There's probably going to be a lot of repeats, but I think Donald Trump is really an important person to analyze for this project because, especially with the 2020 elections coming up, it's more important now more than ever that we can identify fake news, we can fact check for ourselves, we really know the truth versus what's a lie. So that's why I decided to do Donald Trump.
We have created 5.3 million new jobs and importantly added 600,000 new manufacturing jobs, something which almost everyone said was impossible to do. But the fact is, we are just getting started.
So Trump's numbers are actually relatively close to being accurate. He did overestimate both numbers. For manufacturing jobs, he's created about 454,000 jobs, which is something to be proud of. It's one of the largest gains in about 20 years. But he did overestimate both numbers, and he was not truthful.
Unemployment has reached the lowest rate in over half a century.
While the statement is technically not wrong, I would consider it a little misleading. It's as if Trump is trying to take credit for the entirety of the low unemployment rate, and I'm sure he had something to do with it. But researchers show that the unemployment rate has actually been at a pretty steady decline since the economic recession in 2010. This introduces a gray area to whether or not we can give Trump the full credit for the current unemployment rate.
And we have unleashed a revolution in American energy. The United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world.
While the statement is technically true, it's pretty misleading because it's been true since the Obama administration. Actually, in 2011, we topped the charts for natural gas compared to other countries.
In 1997, Alice was sentenced to life in prison as a first-time nonviolent drug offender. Over the next 22 years, she became a prison minister, inspiring others to choose a better path. She had a big impact on that prison population and far beyond. Alice's story underscores the disparities and unfairness that can exist in criminal sentencing.
The story about Alice Johnson is actually a true statement. Alice was put in prison in 1996 for drug trafficking, and she served 21 years of prison. A lot of people knew about this incident because of Kim Kardashian. She brought a lot of attention to the case and helped Trump get her to be released. And Alice Johnson is actually there at the address.
Alice is with us tonight, and she is a terrific woman. Terrific. Alice, please.
This is an image of my word cloud, and it shows some of the many words that Trump uses in his address, and it points out some of the main words that really stood out to me. You can see the words America and citizens quite a bit as Trump relied on a very patriotic and home-first approach. You can also see Trump's connection to the private sector quite a bit as you see words such as corporation, economy, and wealth.
An economic miracle is taking place in the United States, and the only thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics, or ridiculous partisan investigations.
Trump's tone can be seen a lot of different ways, depending on which part of the address stood out to you the most. Personally, I find his tone factitious and a little sarcastic, especially in terms of unity. We see him talk about wanting to unite the two parties, however, we don't see a lot of action from him. I say this because Trump recently denied an invitation to share his part of the story at the impeachment hearing. I get this might not be the most comfortable environment for Trump. However, if unity is one of your main goals, it would be a good opportunity to do so.
The agenda I will lay out this evening is not a Republican agenda or a Democrat agenda. It's the agenda of the American people.
For the conservative article, I reviewed a Fox News article by Alex Pappas. This article focused on how Trump shuts down disgrace brought by the Democratic Party. This article praises Trump for talking about unity within the country, and then references Trump saying we need to end partisan investigations. From there, the article reviews key points addressed by Trump in his address. For the liberal article, I reviewed a New York Times article by Glenn Thrush. This article compares Trump's address to stand-up comedy, even though comedy is spelt wrong in the article, and focuses on what Trump did not say during his address, such as a private lunch with network anchors. To score President Trump on truthfulness in this speech, I would give him a 1 out of 4. I give him this score because we reviewed 4 statements and only one of them were correct. There are a lot more statements made within this speech, so I would encourage you to listen to the speech yourself and see if you can find all of the false statements, which it might be more than you think. Thanks for watching my final presentation, and I hope you have a great winter break.